There is no new episode of NCIS, Sydney on March 21, 2025, due to CBS preempting its scripted programming for the ongoing 2025 NCAA basketball tournament, March Madness. The tournament runs through early April, causing delays for several CBS shows, including NCIS, Sydney. The next new episode, Season 2, Episode 7, will air on April 4, 2025, after a 2-week break. The upcoming episode will see the team investigating the death of a U.S. Navy chorister, diving into the music world and the darker side of fame. Viewers can catch up on previous episodes on Paramount Plus while waiting for the next installment. Why there is no new NCIS, Sydney this week, March 21st, and when Season 2, Episode 7 releases. There is a reason that NCIS, Sydney's latest episode isn't airing on March 21st, 2025. NCIS, Sydney Season 2 offers big cases and plenty of romance, and its latest episode was no exception, making it frustrating to have to wait. NCIS, Sydney Season 2, Episode 6 focuses on the romance between Evie, Tully Nargle, and Deshawn, Sean Sauger, when the two investigate a murder at a wellness retreat for Navy SEALs, which naturally puts them into a life-and-death situation. The villains are former Navy SEALs who killed someone to cover up their involvement in another murder 20 years ago. At one point, Evie and Deshawn must hunt them despite Evie's lack of experience shooting at live targets, and her world is shattered when she thinks Deshawn is injured. While the case is resolved within the episode, the romance between these two characters is an ongoing arc. It's frustrating to have to wait for the next installment, especially since CBS 2025 season finale date for NCIS, Sydney is not far off. Why there is no new NCIS, Sydney tonight, March 21, 2025. CBS scripted programming is preempted for a sports event. NCIS, Sydney is not airing on March 21, 2025, because of the ongoing 2025 NCAA basketball tournament, also known as March Madness. This tournament takes place during the last 2 weeks of March every year. CBS usually preempts all of its scripted programming to cover the sporting event. Tonight, round 1 of the tournament continues, so none of CBS scripted shows are airing. Fire Country, NCIS, Sydney, and SWAT are all preempted for basketball, as were CBS 3 daytime soaps this afternoon. CBS shows preempted for basketball on March 21, 2025. Show. Usual airtime. The Young and the Restless. 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The Bold and the Beautiful. 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Beyond the Gates. 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Fire Country. 8 p.m. Eastern Time. NCIS, Sydney. 9 p.m. Eastern Time. SWAT. 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Although the sporting event is the reason for the preemption, CBS probably would have delayed the next episode of NCIS, Sydney even if there wasn't a tournament to cover. Networks typically schedule breaks for their primetime shows at this time of year to ensure that there are enough episodes left to last through May, when most TV series wrap up for the summer. Additionally, delays in the production schedule sometimes require network TV to take a short break from airing new episodes. This allows more episodes to be produced before the network runs out of ready-to-broadcast material. When will NCIS, Sydney Season 2, Episode 7 release? The next new episode doesn't air until April. The March Madness tournament lasts through the beginning of April. As more teams are eliminated, there are fewer games to cover, so CBS can return to some of its regular programming. Unfortunately, however, NCIS, Sydney is still affected on March 27. Basketball will again air in its place. However, a new episode will air on April 4, 2025, 2 weeks from tonight. Unfortunately, this means that there will not be a new episode for several weeks, making the delay even more frustrating. However, once the series returns, there will be no more hiatuses before its April 25th season finale. While this is one of the longer hiatuses, there is some good news. Every episode of NCIS, Sydney Season 2 that has aired so far is available to stream on Paramount+. This means that audience members who missed one of the first 6 episodes can catch up on the streaming service before new episodes air. Additionally, the first season is available on streaming, making it easy to watch or rewatch any episode of the procedural while waiting for the next new episode to air. What to expect from the upcoming NCIS Sydney episode? The team is drawn into the seedier side of the music world. NCIS Sydney Season 2, Episode 7 promises another exciting case as the team is dispatched to investigate the death of a U.S. Navy chorister. This case will require the NCIS agents to deal with a world they know comparatively little about as they investigate the role obsessive fans and the addictive grip of fame might have played in the Navy musician's grisly fate. This change of scenery will come with new challenges since it's different from the standard NCIS case and involves an unfamiliar world. This story will be the first of the final 4 episodes of NCIS Sydney Season 2. As it approaches NCIS Sydney Season 3, the cases will probably get even more intense so that the show can include cliffhangers in its wrap-up that will keep audiences talking throughout the long summer hiatus. NCIS Sydney promises to move toward the end of the season with a bang, with big, exciting cases in settings unique to the series. As it approaches NCIS Sydney Season 3, the cases will probably get even more intense so that the show can include cliffhangers in its wrap-up that will keep audiences talking throughout the long summer hiatus. Additionally, there will likely be more movement forward on the mastermind behind Anonymous assassination attempt.